In this exercise, we're going to be working on making this assembly of this map here. And so here's the picture that I captured that someone shared on Facebook, as well as their drawings. And you can see they're not the best drawings, but we're going to fix that later on. So if we look at it, the pieces here, we have side plates. We have a left and right side plate. On their drawings, they drew one and then did the other one, and half the dimensions aren't either one. So you kind of have to pick the dimensions you need from each of the two sides of the drawing. Remember, this hole is the same as this hole. Hole is the same as this hole. So on. It doesn't tell you the thickness though. So if you look at the model here, and kind of the brown part of these pieces stick through all the way to the outside of this. If we look down here, we can see those stick out 5 millimeters. So safe to assume that this thing is about 5 millimeters thick. Also, look down, there's no drawing for this little bar here. So we can kind of use these parts here to figure out what that would be. So it looks like the picture here that that bar is about the same length as the hole there, about the same height. So I think that this bar is what the remnant of what's taken out right there. So that hole is 15.6, and so I would call that bar maybe 50, 152, and then somewhere less than 10, so 9.5, something like that. Because there's gonna be a little bit of material removed when they cut this. Probably on a laser or water jet or something like that. So it's gonna be a thin cut, but just between 50 and 52 long. I don't know, 9 and 10 tall, and the same 5 thick. Now the hole in the middle is going to be for this screw here, which goes into this small nut there. So there's only one that doesn't go through, so it's this one. So it's going to tell us that that screw is an M4, so that's an M4 screw. The hole needs to be a countersink for an M4. I'm guessing that's what this word right here is countersunk. Those holes are countersunk. There. So that's what I'm assuming that those are there. And then other than that, these parts are pretty easy to draw. But also we want to look at which ones are similar to each other. That maybe we can do part of and copy the component and copy the body out of the component first before we finish it. So like these two right here are pretty much identical except for the hole. I would probably work on that, copy the body after I get it all complete, then add the 2 holes to those. Then this one we're just going to use twice. So we'll just make one component, then copy the component. And for these, we're going to make one side and then mirror it to the other side. Again, there's a lot of over dimensioning on these, so you're going to have to figure out which of the dimensions you actually want to use on it. So on this side, you're given the distance and angle, but over here you have the distance and the angle. So figure out which ones you want. Same thing down here. You have the size of this, the size of that, space in between, and the overall. Decide which dimensions you'd want to use. I'd probably do the overall and these 2 outsides. These are supposed to be centered. Obviously, the centric with those arcs there. So, all right. First, make all your parts for this, and then you're going to import your fasteners. So we've got a list of fasteners that we need here. We need these 4 short M5 screws that are going to go here on each side. And so make sure that they're long enough that they can go into this piece here without hitting each other. So this piece is 13 millimeters wide. You want to be able to get in there without hitting each other. You have the 1 long M4 screw for down here, bottom. You have a 3/8 T-nut that goes underneath the surface here to hold it onto the plate. Piece of all thread, open down here. Washer right there, and the nut right there. You want to bring all those pieces in, and then put them together, create assembly that you see. So get all that done, set your mates, all that, and then then we're going to turn it in. So get a screen capture of your part, the full assembly. Make sure you show your sketches and components, as well as your history bar on the bottom. Then, of course, your normal reflex.